Now, residents say this area behind me on Red Oak Lane is where Mr. Coon would set off his explosives, alarming residents on numerous occasions. Cage says wind and heavy rain caused this tree to uproot and completely topple the Lawson's home. Now, Dix also said they are in support and respect the Second Amendment, but they have to help solve the problem of gun violence. Now, the water issue here in Tallulah has caused residents to double up on bottled water supply, leaving places like Morgan's completely out of stock. CenturyLink says they've gotten over 300 applicants since the event started here at 7 o'clock this morning, and some even left with a job offer. And National Wear Red Day, not only to bring awareness to women with heart disease, these little hats play a role too. It's to bring awareness to congenital heart disease in newborns. Today, there were a lot of questions that people felt still needed to be answered. The purpose of today's meeting was to find those answers and make sure something like this doesn't happen again.
We want justice. We want justice. It's always just us.
A small chant with a big message.
The
Winfield community demanding answers and justice. Justice for Tanisha White, who says she was brutally beaten by Winfield police last month. Pictures show White with injuries to her face. Her sister Tramika Coleman says White lost sight in her eye.
This is going to affect her mentally for the rest of her life, you know. Not being able to see, you know, out of that eyes. You know, she's going to have to wear shades and stuff like that, and just, you know, being embarrassed and, you know, of what happened to her.
Today, they met with human rights activist Gerald Rose to talk the next steps toward justice and change.
People are concerned, but I could tell the mentality that they think that it might get swept under the rug. But I could tell you right now that New Order, National Human Rights Organization from Atlanta, is going to be very, very visible from here on out.
Rose is the president of New Order National Human Rights Association. Last night, he met with the police chief and the mayor to try and bridge the gap between city leaders and people who live there. Police Chief Johnny Ray Carpenter was there today, too, to answer some of White's family's questions.
Y'all said she was never even tased in the first place when everybody can clearly see she was tased.
And though Coleman says this meeting still left some questions unanswered, she says they made progress.
We want to make sure that the officers are being trained or are punished or whatever has to happen to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
School and the school board are not doing all that they can do for us.
Students at Block High School in Jonesville are refusing to go to class.
If you're a teacher and you don't know what you're doing, how you expect me to do.
Students say the school doesn't have enough certified teachers.
We got teachers that are not certified teaching subjects that they don't even know. My music teacher is teaching me biology too. I don't know if y'all find that funny, but I do.
Last night, the school board held a public meeting. Students and parents were able to submit questions to the board members. And according to teacher and football coach Benny Vault, there were more questions than answers.
I don't think it's just a Block High School problem. I think it's a parish-wide problem. It could all be fixed, but I don't think our administration is doing a suffice job in making sure that everybody getting an equal and fair education.
That's why more than 100 students stood outside the high school, chanting their needs. Many members of the community are supporting the students. Bill Bullock says the high school has had issues for years. He says this isn't the first time the students have protested.
They have, and it was very short-lived. I've never seen this degree. Sometimes, most of the time, it's 7, 8, 10, something like that. Just that I'm extremely proud of these kids. And I know I get emotional when it comes to kids, but somebody needs to.
Students say for the sake of their education, they need their voices heard.
I guess that's their way of thinking that we're going to give up, but like I said, we're not going to give up.
In Jonesville,
but watch us overcome it.
Kassandra Merritt, KNOE 8 News.